A bicycle is probably the most efficient form of transportation ever devised. The average bicycle rider generates only around 100 watts of propulsion power, about as much as it takes to power a light bulb. Compare this to the output of a typical car engine, which generates something like 1,000 light bulbs worth of power. And yet a bicycle can be a practical alternative to an automobile. A bicycle's efficiency is almost entirely dependent on its momentum. A moving bicycle is operating at peak efficiency. Even as it slows, it remains efficient. It's coming to a dead stop that really saps a rider's available energy, so bike riders do their best to preserve their momentum, to make the most efficient use of their 100 watts of power. Even though they want to keep moving, most bike riders approach stop signs with extreme care, if only because they know they usually have the most to lose in a collision. Most cyclists approach stop signs with the caution they were taught in driver's ed. They slow down, they look left, they look right, and look left again. They make sure the way is clear and that they have the right of way before they proceed. Yet many, if not most, do all this while preserving some small amount of forward motion. This approach to stop signs is known as a rolling stop. The proposed Idaho stop sign law would seek to allow bike riders to treat stop signs as yield signs. It would, in effect, allow for rolling stops, making this common-sense approach legal, and in doing so encourage safe, sensible, and efficient bicycle transportation. There is no question as to the safety of the proposed law because it's based on a law that's been in effect for the last 27 years in Idaho, and Idaho's bike safety record is exceptional. Despite being a more rural state than Oregon, Idaho makes for a fair comparison because if Boise were a city in Oregon, it would be our second largest. It's important to note that neither Idaho law nor the proposed Idaho-style stop law would allow a bike rider to blow through a stop sign. Blowing through a stop is reckless, dangerous, and disregards the rights of others. Under the Idaho stop law, the fine for this offense would be even higher than it is now. Here are some examples of how the Idaho stop sign law would work in practice. At a four-way stop with other vehicles present, the bike rider yields until he or she has the right of way. At a two-way stop with heavy cross traffic, the bike rider yields until it's safe to go. At a two-way stop with low visibility, the bike rider cannot be sure the way is clear. Therefore, the bike rider yields. At any intersection with a pedestrian present, the bike rider yields. The bike rider is allowed to roll through a stop only if the way is clear of cars and pedestrians, and only if the bike rider has the right of way. In all cases, the bike rider treats the stop sign as a yield sign. The Idaho stop law would simply make it so that riding a bike would be every bit as safe as it is now, but more efficient, more enjoyable, and thus more viable as a clean, healthy, and low-impact form of transportation.